C, approval of the minutes from the August 18th, 2025 regular meeting. Those have been approved. Up next, we have D, state assessment scores. Mrs. Miller. Great presentation. All right.
Thanks.
State assessment.
All right. Good evening. I just wanted to come this evening and share with you the great things that are going on in our school. We did get our final averages from our state assessments, and as usual, we did extremely well. I do want to highlight a couple schools, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But looking at our scores in reading, we went up 1.49%. In math, we went up 1.79%. And this is huge for us. Science, we went up 5.5%. I know these numbers look small, but when you're looking and comparing it to 1,200 students, that is growth, and that's what we're after. Even though, like I said, it looks like a very, very small number, but it's sort of like the higher you get, the harder it is to move up. So we are very, very pleased with those scores.
So that's countywide.
Yes, that's countywide, 3 through 8 and grade 11. Looking at our proficiency by subject matter, if you look at this, we are, this is a problem spot for us this year, was ELA. So we were 1% below the state average. We had a couple of, I don't know, I was calling them like hot spots, but a couple grades that didn't perform where we thought they would. So we do have a plan in place to try to get those scores up. We've redone our intervention periods at the elementary school, where every grade will have a half-hour intervention of reading and a half-hour intervention of math every single day. The middle school, we had a few little issues there as well. We're looking more at what we can do. Of course, you know, once you get to middle school, kids, a lot of them don't like reading. So some things that we can do to make them take an interest in ownership and try to get those skills up where we like to have them. Looking at math, we were above state average, and that was even with a couple grades that had very, very low scores. So I'm still very, very pleased that we were above state average in math. And then science was huge for us this year. Usually we hang out right at the state average, but I believe we were 6% higher this year, which is huge. So shout out to our science teachers for the great job they did. And even though only grades 5 and 8 and 11 get tested, it's still on 3 through 5 standards and 6 through 8 standards. So even though those grades aren't tested, those standards are. So that would be all of our science teachers that have worked incredibly hard to get those scores up. Okay, compared to the state, oh, I'm sorry, that last slide, I did it backwards. That was actually us from last year to this year. So we did actually still go up 1%, even though we're below state average. So that this year. So as you can see, the gold color is this year, and so we did show improvement. Okay. So the state comparison, this is the state comparison. So like I said, we were 1% below the state average in ELA, so we do have a plan in place to remedy that. Math, this is a better picture of math. This is how much higher we are than the state average. And then science, again, this was a huge year for us with the science. And if you look at the bottom, it's sort of small on this, but we are 1% lower than the state average in reading. I should have done better with my glasses.
7%.
7% higher in math, thank you, Mr. Hiley, and 6% higher in science. Okay, so we are, we're not where we want to be, but we're moving in that direction. Okay. Looking at these scores, it compares each grade. In the blue, you see AIB. And the orange, that's compared to the county, so that would be AIB and Sistersville together. And then green is the state. So if you look at third grade reading, we were a little bit above the state for Borman. Again, we have a plan in place. We think we'll take care of this next year. And if you look at, county-wise, they did do well. Okay, look at fourth grade. Fourth grade is a really, really bright spot for us this year at both schools. If you look at fourth grade reading compared to the county and then compared to the state. And the same way with fifth grade, they did very, very well, Borman. And so we're trying to figure out what strategies, instructional tools they were using at Borman so we can carry that countywide. If you look at Borman for math, third grade, that's AIB, that's the whole county, that's the state. The same way with fourth grade and then fifth grade. As you can see, Borman did extremely well compared to the county and the state. And then the same for science. Borman, the county, and then the state. And just a few percentages for you that really stand out to me. In ELA, Arthur I. Borman was 13% above the state in fourth grade reading and 21% above the state in fifth grade reading, which is outstanding. Math, third grade was 14% above state average. Fourth grade math was 24% above state average. And fifth grade math was 14% above state average. And then science with the fifth grade was 22% above state average. So Borman Elementary had an awesome year. Whatever they did, it was working. So very, very pleased with Arthur I. Borman. Okay, looking at Sistersville Elementary. Again, now the blue is Sistersville, the orange is the county, and the green is the state. If you look at the reading, hanging in there, third grade, we struggled both ends of the county with third grade last year. They missed because of COVID, and I hate blaming things on COVID, but they did miss a huge foundational chunk of math and reading. Then fourth grade and then fifth grade, looking at math, again, above state average. Their fourth grade did extremely well at Sistersville. And then fifth grade. And then looking at our science, like I said, we've got a plan in place to try to get those scores where they need to be and get those students back on track with our instructional plan. Okay, looking at Tyler Consolidated Middle School. Again, another bright spot for us this year. Reading, sixth grade was above state average. Seventh grade, it looks really low here, but it's because of the scale on the side. Struggled a little bit in reading, and eighth grade as well. But you flip-flop that, and usually in middle school we see that our English reading is much higher than our math. Well, that flipped this year. We have an amazing group of math teachers. There are 4 of them. They meet, or they're constantly collaborating. They've joined the M3T group. They go to conferences. They do a lot of things on their own time, and it's really shown this year. So if you look at these scores, look at sixth grade, how much higher they are than the state average. Look at seventh grade and eighth grade. I mean, it's huge. And just looking at their math scores, sixth grade was 12% above state average. Seventh grade was 6% above state average. And eighth grade was 15% above state average. And if you can get eighth graders to work on math, they're doing something right. So huge congratulations to them as well. And then looking at our science, their science was 7% above state average. So the middle school also had a great year. They started intervention last year. They're going to continue it this year. And then looking at the high school, reading, we did well. We were above state average. We know that math is a weak spot for us. Mr. Morris, he had a plan before I even looked at the score. I think he got up really early that morning, and we were on the phone bright and early he already had a plan in place. So he's met with his math teachers. They're working together with a common plan for grades 9 through 12 with the different math to try to remedy this issue. And then science, we're right, I think it was like 1% below state average. So that's where we're at with the scores. All things considering, very, very pleased. Like I said, Arthur I. Borman in the middle school had fantastic years. A few hiccups with the others, but like I said, we've got a plan in place. We have consultants that we worked with last year that are working with us this year. They look at our data with us, so they're in our schools. They're in constant communication with the principals and then with me to try to let us, know, because sometimes they can see things that we don't. We get too familiar with the classrooms, with the teachers. So we're working with them. We're really looking at data. We're looking at our benchmarks. So I'm confident that we're going to see big improvement next year. And like I said, these aren't bad. They're just, I'm never satisfied unless we're number one. So that's that. So okay, that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Miller.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller.
Under delegations, we have nothing at this time. Communications, we have nothing. Superintendent's report, nothing there. Project updates, we'll tell you that putting the finishing touches on the addition should be out of there by the end of this week, if not before. The other piece, the head house and meat slab, tomorrow is a big day. They're bringing in the wooden timber trusses that go in the middle of the building. Once they get those up and going, it'll really take shape as to what the end product will look like. They're working on the inside of the meat slab right now with that October 9th deadline. Still our goal to get kids in there and be able to utilize the space. We have to, because that's when hams and bacons will start showing up. So we got to have that space, and I think we made it very clear to the contractor that that's a drop dead date. We got to be in there. So we did meet this evening with McKinley Architecture about the new school moving forward. I think we have a good plan there. Looks like everything now will go out to bid right at the first of the year, before the first of the year, with maybe some timber cutting going on here this fall, because there is a window for bats and other things that you have to stay within to cut the trees. Even if we just lay the trees down and leave them there, that'll probably be until January. Curricular updates, I don't have anything at this time. Committee reports, we had a off-time meeting, went over a few things there, nothing really, also really didn't have a lot that we went over, nothing really new. Staff reports, something in the staff reports, financial. Mr. Davis is not here, so there must not be anything to talk about. No, we didn't have any financial issues this time. Policy review, policy 5136, that's our cell phone policy. It's been up for 2-week comments. We didn't have any comments, but since we're at a board meeting, I want to reiterate, when kids are going to MOVTI and Wetzel Tech, and I don't think we made this clear prior to school starting, but we're going to start making it clear starting today, tomorrow. Those students do not need their phones on those buses to MOVTI and to Wetzel Tech. There's been a couple issues that have come up, so they'll leave their phone at school. We're considering that part of the school day. That's really just a class change. So they'll leave their phone in their locker at school and they can pick it up at the end of the day. I don't think we made that clear at the beginning of the year, but we're going to be making it clear now. So when you come to school, your phone goes in your locker. It stays in your locker till the end of the instructional day. Whether you go to MOVTI, Wetzel Tech, or you stay at school, it stays in your locker. So we're working on that right now, but this policy outlines cell phone use, and pretty much what it says is you put it away when you get to school, you can take it out when you're done with the day. So we don't want, our drivers need to be focused on the road. So we're going to trust our kids to do a good job and listen to the policy, follow the policy, and we'll monitor monitor the policy, to and from. Usually they show up if it's happening, but like I said, we want our drivers focusing on the road and getting kids there safely. We don't want them preoccupied or, thinking about who has their cell phone out. So we're going to work on that as an administrative group here, and with Ms. Grise, we'll get that all figured out for sure. So that policy will replace our old policy starting tomorrow. Athletic schedules, the Tyler Sully High School wrestling schedule was there. The other one we got the state to okay was a change in the football schedule. We were supposed to play Ritchie County Monday. They canceled on us, and we were able to pick up River and go play them Monday. But we did get approval from the state for that. All these trips have been requested and approved. mainly just field trips, couple to the Autumn Fest or the Harvest Festival here at the Tyler County Fairgrounds, and then some other trips for 6th, 7th, 8th grade in the middle school, and then one for our cheerleaders, and of course, Mr. Jennings has a couple on there as well. Under other requests, at the Gas Festival Bandorama, they've asked for a couple of it helps with our concession, and then these outside vendors will give a donation to the band boosters of the sales they have. But Poor Daddy's Pizza, Cone of Ice, and the Frothy Dog will be at the Oil and Gas Festival set up along with our concession stand. And they got approval for those, the band boosters did. Approval to cross county lines. Those were also submitted. So under personnel, we had a couple resignations. Tristan Boso resigned her position as an ELA reading teacher August 11th. Scotty Gorby resigned his position as a substitute teacher. Steshka Shrum, she resigned her position as a substitute teacher. Kelly Schulteis resigned her position as a school program or after school program supervisor. Brenna Meyer resigned her position as a student council advisor at Arthur I. Borman. Rachel Kane resigned her position as yearbook advisor at Arthur I. Borman. And Jeff Davis resigns his position as treasurer chief financial officer effective January 31st, 2026. Under employees, transfers and rescissions, we're transferring Erin Gowdy from her position as special education teacher at Sistersville Elementary School to interventionist at Sistersville Elementary School. And at this time of year, we don't move people around, so that will start the 26-27 school year. Employed Travis Imch as the Tyler Consolidated Middle School ELA teacher starting September 3rd. Employed Jeffrey Lancaster as Treasurer, Chief Financial Business Officer, effective October 1st, 2025. And then as you go down through D, E, F, G, these are all those like after school or bus duty supervisor at each of our schools. So I'm not gonna read you all those names, but those are all they've all been vetted through certification at the State Department to go ahead and employ them. And then employ Daniel Keith Glover as chief mechanic at the bus garage, and that's effective immediately. Mr. Glover's been coming in on his own time, kind of learning the ropes. I'm really excited to get him in. I think he'll be a wonderful addition to our bus garage. He comes with many years of experience working with diesel engines and as a mechanic, so I'm really excited about that. Employ Heather Riggle as a substitute teacher. That would be effective immediately. And then under other, Mr. Winters and Mr. Riggle request that Rachel Henthorn be a volunteer coach for the Tyler Consolidated Middle School girls basketball team. We have had approval of all those positions by the state certification department, so those all have been okayed. And then for Q, allow the bills to be paid. Jeff sent those to the State Department also, and those have all came back, and we were allowed to pay those bills. So that's all I have for this agenda.
Okay, the next regular meeting will be held Monday, October 6th, at 7 o'clock here in the board office. So this meeting is adjourned.